Hello, everyone. Welcome back. We're going to continue on with the program, and moving forward, we're going to discuss bandit signs this week. Um, I get a lot of questions about, the legitimacy of bandit signs or street signs or corrugated signs. Um, these signs are probably the number one reason why we are still in business. They were the first thing we tried, and they basically put us in business. And because they're so effective, we continue to use them, and we probably will continue to use them for into the future. And one of people's main concerns are the city and the legalities behind the signs and some of the codes and stuff that you might run across, and you might hear people saying that it's illegal in different areas and stuff like that. So I definitely want you to check your local county or city code department, and just see if they're legit, and see how if see because what can happen is they don't like them, but they do allow them on specific days and times. And um, recently, what has happened with us, we've been doing it for years. We've been doing it for about 4 or 5 years, and ever since we've been in business, like I said, this is how we open up our doors. Um, and I used to get calls, maybe 2 or 3 calls a year from the city, so it wasn't enough to rattle me. Like when I did get the call, I would kind of be worried, but it was never like any malicious, mean call or threatening call, I should say, from the state or the city. So I never really took it serious. But I got a call recently, and the from the city, and he, was a county inspector, and he just wanted to talk to me about it. And I was kind of nervous. I didn't know if he was trying to set me up to find me and stuff like that. So it took a couple of days, but I eventually called, and what I found out is that they are actually legal in our county, and there's just a time and a place for them. And that changed everything for me. I should have called a long time ago because I'd have just saved a lot of anxiety, because I was going to do it anyway, but it would have just been less anxiety had I knew I was sticking to the rules, or I was playing by the rules. And when you start in a business, sometimes you got to break the rules. And I'm not saying break the law, but I'm just saying sometimes you got to do what you got to do. Um, so what we end up doing now is we put them out when the state says we can. They say we can put them out. This when the city says we can. They say we can put them out from Friday to Monday. So that's the weekend pretty much. We can put them out Friday after 6, and they have to be up before Monday at 9 p.m. I think he said. So that means we just put them out on Friday night, and we pick them up on Sunday night, and that's been working just fine. On week on weekends that have good weather, when people are out and about, we get a nice amount of calls. We're not getting as many calls as when we were leaving them out all week for obvious reasons, but it's still worth my while to put them out, because we still, like I said, still get a nice amount of calls from them. And so I kind of jumped ahead because I just was thinking about the city county code, and that's basically all I wanted to discuss. Is just reach out to them, and see what the actual law is. And don't go with hearsay and all that what other people say, or even what somebody says in the group. Just do your own actual legwork. Call, because everybody's city is different. So just call down there and see what's going on, and just try to uh, see how you could do it and stay out of trouble. Another thing that I'm going to jump back to is the reflector vest. We have the I hire outsource this task now. I don't we don't actually do it anymore, so we hire someone to do it for us, and it's kind of like no one ever stays forever. But I did have a guy who was working with me for about 6 months, and that's usually how long, maybe 3 4 months. It's just like a little nighttime. It's like a weekend gig for somebody, most people, and it's not nothing that they're going to be really, doing forever, and they know that. You should be clear about that as well. But when you do pick up these guys, you want to definitely make sure you're giving them some kind of instruction. Obviously, how to put the signs together, how to put them out, um, what locations, but also you want to talk to them a little bit about safety. Um, and I definitely make sure that they all wear the reflector vest. Um, and we just kind of make sure that they understand that this is it's not a dangerous job, but you are in the street. We try to go out at night, like after traffic, but there's still cars on the road. So we definitely want them to kind of just be, extra careful and go out there with them, to train them. When you're training them, just kind of making sure that they're using the signals on the lights, and they're not just running in traffic and stuff like that. Because it's regardless of what you may think about it, they still even at that time in the night, they're representing your company. They have your company name, or at least your company phone number on those signs, and people are seeing them. So you want to first and foremost make sure he's being responsible and safe. More than anything. Um, when it comes to the wordings on the sign, we changed our sign wording a little bit. We got elder care up top, affordable, in home, and then the phone number. And I always play with it a little bit. I change it up, but these are just some of the things that I just can't take out. I want to make it shorter. I don't want to have so many words because I know it's like maybe like a 20-30 second opportunity when people looking at the sign. If there's something they see and they need, obviously they might pull over and come back and get the number. But if it doesn't say it quick enough, if they can't read it quick enough, then they won't be able to take advantage of the service. So elder care I put at the very top, because if I look at it when I'm driving past, I look at a sign, I'm naturally going to read from top to bottom, and the first thing I want everyone to see is elder care. I think that's the most important thing. And then as you see elder care, you basically just going to see affordable, and then the in-home and the phone number. So I definitely want to make sure that they know it's elder care and it's affordable. Um, so when you're getting your signs designed, again, we just go through dirtcheapsigns.com and you ask for the Alan Chaney discount, and they'll give you a great rate. So you just want to think about how you're going to word it, how it's going to look, and then also the colors. We've only played with this orange color and a blue, a royal blue color, and I don't know how uh, much of a difference it's going to make when you're standing with pretty primary colors. But if you start getting out there with weird colors, I would stay away from like being too weird, because again, you're not, promoting a circus, so you don't want to have no like neon colors and green and just weird colors that don't really kind of represent what you're doing. So you just want to think about that as well. Another tool that we use when we're outsourcing is the Simple Crew app. And what you see here, right here to the left, is Just Carrying Hands LLC. That's our company app for Simple Crew. And this actually shows me where all my signs are as they're going out. So after I train my guy to go out and put the signs out, I show him also while we're out there how to take a picture, because all he does is he downloads the app on his phone. He logs into our company. In the app, he'll be able to find I'll be able to send him an invite from the app using his email. So once he logs on his email, he'll get an email invite to our company portion of the app, and he'll be able to take a picture with that in the app, and it'll come straight to our company map. So I'll see it as soon as he puts it up. I can see it in real time, so I know exactly where all my signs are. And these red dots that you see here, those don't represent one sign. Those might represent 3 or 4 signs, but they're in a cluster. Like when you scroll down closer, you'll see that it'll spread out. But I just wanted to give people, this is an idea. This is almost like a 15-mile stretch, like like if you notice, it's like 3 cities. You got like 4 cities, 5 cities. You got Annapolis, Arnold, Severna Park, Pasadena, Glen Burnie, and then up into why it says 895. We're almost in like Baltimore area. So I can see. So we got signs going all the way up this highway, and it's a great way to kind of track your routes and know exactly what you want to do. And I just look at the map before I send out anybody, and just try to find cool, easy routes that we can, get a lot of traffic. I know it's millions of cars literally probably going up and down this street over the weekend. So using this app, we can see exactly where our signs are, and also that's accountability to our sign guy. I've had, before we use this app, I've had a sign person tell me that they put the signs out, and I didn't see any signs. I'm like, where are the signs? And then, a couple weeks later, when I saw him, he opened up his trunk. He had forgot that, he was sneaking around, and he opened up his trunk, and he had my signs back there. And I'm like, wow, I paid you and you still got the signs. So it was kind of like an awkward moment for him, and it was just like, wow. So this app is definitely helpful because people aren't always, up and up. Some people try to play games, and I also tell them, like, man, if you don't want to do it, just let me know. If you get out there and you don't feel like you want to do anymore, don't throw my signs away. Just let me know, bring them back, and we'll move forward. These signs are expensive, and I don't want to, just waste them. If you're not interested in doing it, it's no problem. We'll just pay you for what the work you've done. Just, please don't throw away our material. And, when you come at people like that, they pretty, they'll understand. I had a lady, a older lady who responded to the ad, and she, I'm trying to tell her, I'm like, ma'am, I don't think this is something you're going to be able to do. And she was adamant. I'm in healthy, she's upper age, and I just felt like it wasn't a great a great job for her to do, but she was adamant about it. She went out, got halfway through it, and like, oh my gosh, she called me out. You're right. I'm so sorry for wasting your time. And I was okay with it, but I would have rather her call me instead of throwing my signs away. So she called. I got my signs back, and she went on her way. So definitely, that app is definitely helpful, and then also just saying, you know, just saying that, because some people, they think they want to do it, and they might not want to really, you know what I mean. So just kind of talk to them and make sure that if they figure out they're not interested, tell them, ask them not to throw your stuff away, because obviously you pay for the signs, they're expensive. I mean, they're expensive enough that you don't want them going to waste. So going and getting into answering the sign calls. There's a couple different things that you could do when it comes to sign, answering the calls from the phone. I mean, the calls that come from the sign. We like to use Google Voice because we can capture the number instantly. As soon as they call it, they can hang up. We got the number, and we can always follow up with a call back. Or you can answer it live. If you're only placing them out on the weekends, it doesn't really matter. I don't think too many people expect to get a office receptionist to answer the phone on any company that doesn't say they're 24 hours. So if they're this weekend calls, you can kind of let them go to voicemail. But if you are getting calls during the week from your signs, you definitely want to answer the phone. And that goes for any piece of marketing. If from 9 to 5, you need to be answering your phone. There shouldn't be a reason why your people are getting a voicemail during business hours during the week. So you definitely want to answer the phone if you can. We use Google Voice. There's hundreds of different services out there. You could get a cheap phone, like a little, throwaway phone that you can get at like 7-Eleven if you just want to have all your signs going there and just keep just enough minutes on there for you to answer the calls. And I mean, you could put 30 minutes on there, and it'll probably take you'll run out of time. like the minutes that will expire before you use them 30 minutes if you just answering the calls. I mean, especially in the beginning if you don't have a lot of calls coming in. But the calls are usually brief. Um, so that's something you want to think about. And then another thing that comes along with answering phone, the sign calls is that sometimes people are rude and they could be disrespectful if they see a sign and something and they want you to take it down. It may not be necessarily be the city or the county people. It just might be a resident in the area who's just not too excited about your sign. So you will get these calls, and if you do end up answering these calls, don't take it personally. They don't know you. They're just calling off a sign. They're just upset. Don't take it personally. Don't um, argue back and forth with them if you can. And if it's like on a private property or something like that, just go take it up and try to be real polite and cordial as possible at all times. So that's pretty much it when it comes to bandit signs. What I would do is definitely call the county, um, see what time, see what type of laws they have. But like, I feel like even if they, didn't really weren't too excited about them, I would probably still do them just on the weekends because the county workers aren't even out on the weekends. But I would just pick them back up, and it's another way to save some money too if you just putting them out and picking them back up opposed to leaving them out and buying new ones every so often. And that was what we were doing until recently. Like I said, when I called him and he gave us the information on how we can put them out there. So thanks for watching this with us and learning about a little bit more about bandit signs and how they work and how we're using them in our company. Leave if you have any questions. Feel free to leave them. Leave them in the comment section. Post them in the group, and see you in the next video.